Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Pan the Organizer. Today, I'm going to show you how to remove scratches from your paint in a very simple way, easy. Anybody can do this at home using a very simple system of paint correction. So today I'm working on the Subaru Forester. This is my dad's vehicle. We're doing a full A to Z kind of restoration. We're doing paint correction, decontamination, and at the end we're applying a ceramic coating. So you're gonna see all of that in a separate video. But today we're focusing on damage that he had when he was at a parking lot at a store. Let me show you so you guys can see what I'm talking about. You see this here? So this happened while they were shopping, my mom and dad, and we can see this is pretty bad. So there's one scratch that's super deep. This is to the nail, so it seems to be to the primer, but we're gonna try and improve this as much as we can and remove the majority of this. And as you're gonna see in this video, in a simple way. How are we going to do this? We're going to be using the Clean by Pan the Organizer system. Now, this can be used by DIYers or professionals because it is super simple. We remove all the guesswork from trying to pick which compound, polish, which pads we need, what kind of machine. It doesn't matter because it's super easy. By the way, I'm going to leave all the links to the tools, products, and equipment in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So as you see here, very simple setup. First order of business, to not break the bank, we have the Clean by Pan the Organizer 15mm dual action polisher. Very safe. You're not going to burn through paint. Gone are the days with people worried about what rotary polishers can do. This is a dual action. It mimics the movement of a figure eight with the hand, all while free spinning as well. 1100 watt motor. And again, this will not break the bank because you don't need to spend $700-800 for a polisher. This is 150 USD and it has all the power that you'll need. It has all the cooling capacity as well. The ergonomics are fantastic. And again, you're going to let the tool do the work for you. Now, to pair along with the machine polisher, we're using the Clean by Pan the Organizer spray polish. Now, this is in a spray form, so we're using a lot less compared to the liquid traditional compounds and polishes. And this can be used as a compound if you're pairing it with a cutting pad, or it can be used as a polish if you're pairing it with a polishing pad. So today we're going to do a two-step paint correction with one liquid. Super easy. And of course, you're going to see this in the demo. Talking about pads, we have a 3-pad lineup. So I kept the lineup very simple in the Clean by Pan the Organizer setup. So we have a wool cutting pad with the Clean by Pan backing Velcro type situation here, the hook and loop. And we have the blue foam polishing pad, also known as the one step. So if you don't have lots of crazy defects and you only have some light scratches or swirls, you could just do a one-step polish with the polishing pad. But in this case, because we have deeper scratches and more of that surface defects, we're going to first start with the cutting pad, then move to the polishing step, right? So that's what we call a two-step paint correction: cutting and then polishing to refine what we're doing, and of course a microfiber towel, and we're going to observe the results. Now, I'm saying this can be used by anyone, right? Because it is very simple. So you have the hole here on for your Allen key on your backing plate, and you have a hole in the pad. The pads, by the way, for the Clean by Pan lineup were made custom for the Clean by Pan lineup by Buff and Shine. They're makers of some fantastic pads. So you put that on there. To prime the machine, we're going to put it at the lowest speed, speed number 1. We're going to take the spray polish. So as you're going to see, this is very simple. Shake your chemicals, of course, before you use them. We're going to start spinning the polisher at low speed, and to prime the pad, 2 sprays directly on there. Give 2 full sprays, and from then on, for subsequent passes, it's 1 or 2 sprays to reload. So low speed, 1, 2, and that's it. Now the pad is primed, and we're going to go to town. It is very easy. By the way, this smells absolutely amazing. So this doesn't contain much oils. It's residue free. At the end, it wipes off cleanly, and you can even polish your plastic trim if you want. You can polish glass, you can polish metals, a bunch of stuff with this polish. So now here, let me show you that once again with the light as we're doing these steps so you guys can see. So this is the before, right? You can see all the scratches. So we're going to start with the cutting stage, and then we're going to move to the polishing stage. So we're going to spread the polish on low speed, speed 1 or 2 to start off, while there's a mosquito here that's trying to get into my way. And now to do the actual polishing, we're going to bump that up to speed number 5 on the machine polisher and let the pad, don't apply too much force, just let the machine and the pad and the polishing compound do the work for you. There we go. We're gonna take a microfiber towel. We're gonna come and wipe. So this was the first step. This system is made to be very, very quick. So it cuts very fast, 2 or 3 passes max, and then it also finishes down super nicely. So this is the cutting stage, by the way. Of course, the vehicle was washed and decontaminated before we went ahead and did the paint correction. So always wash and decon your paint first. So look at that. What a tremendous difference already. You see that? The majority of those big scratches and swirls were gone. We knew that we'd be left with probably this line, because this here, I can feel it with the finger. This is down to the primer, but look at the difference. And if we shine the light away, it's pretty much all gone and we see a nice glossy surface. So look at that difference. See that? So if you want at this point, you can do another cutting step just to make sure that you really cut as much as you could, because we want to preserve as much clear coat, right? That's always the most important thing. So you don't want to be too aggressive, but let's reload a bit of this. So low speed for priming. Just one little spray. Let's spread low speed. And now speed 5 for polishing. And you see how easily that polish wipes off. It is a breeze to work with. So now we have a very nice surface. So to the naked eye right away, we can tell this looks gorgeous. Let's see before we do the refining step what this looks like. And yeah, we actually did as much as we could to remove that. So there is pretty much nothing left at this point. You guys see that? Look at that difference. Isn't that beautiful? So now we're going to switch pads. So you remove the pad from the backing plate. To clean the pads, by the way, you can use a pad washer with the Clean by Pan, the Organizer Rinseless Wash, diluted 256:1, so half an ounce for a gallon of water inside your pad washer. Or you can use a brush, pad brush. You can use compressed air. I wouldn't recommend compressed air with foam pads because you can damage the foam when doing that. But any other method that you guys have to clean your pads, that's fine. So you secure the pad at low speed. We're going to prime once again. So 2 sprays, 1, 2. Then we're going to bring this on the paint. Once again, low speed to spread. And then we're going to switch to speed number 5 here for the actual polishing. So what we're doing, the first step was the cutting stage, right? So we removed the majority of the defects itself. And now the second step, the polishing, is to refine the finish, to give more clarity, more depth, and to further remove the sanding marks left by the compound stage. So let's polish. And that should be it. So another thing I like of this polish, by the way, you noticed I didn't tape the plastic trim. There is no need to, because this will not stain your plastic trim. You can actually polish faded and oxidized plastic trim with the polish itself. So no worries there. And once again, the wipe off is so good. So we see it's super glossy now. It is very slick to the touch. And we remove the defects. Let's have a look with the light what this looks like now. See?
Wow.
And that's my dad reacting, by the way, because you can barely tell there's anything left. I mean, look at that. Let me actually take the camera from his hands and let me bring it over so you can see from my perspective. So, Dad, what do you think?
It surprised me.
It's amazing, eh?
Unbelievable.
So look at that. There's only just, if you really shine it,
Unbelievable.
I can't, depending on the angle, I can't even tell. Can you guys tell? Look, there's nothing left but clarity. So this is how simple, just the faintest thing if we're super close. But as soon as you look from afar and you're shining the light, look at that.
It disappeared.
It disappeared.
Close and fast.
And you see all the metal flakes now in the paint. You're getting that true depth and that true perception. And just look at this. So if we're looking at it from this perspective, with no light, it's like a mirror. We can see our feet, we can see the bench and all that stuff. As you guys saw, it was very, very easy to do in just a few minutes. You're gonna enjoy doing this. You can do the entire vehicle, of course. This will remove all the defects, once again, the swirls, the scratches, the oxidation, and paint correction, or also known as machine polishing. This is the way where you actually get the biggest bump or increase in measurable gloss. So yes, waxes, sealants, ceramic coatings, they do add a few gloss units more to give a different appearance, like a candy-like appearance with the ceramic coatings or a warm glow from the wax. But paint correction is truly what gives you the biggest bang for gloss. That's how you increase the depth, the clarity, and you remove the defects. Because when you're doing paint correction, don't forget, you're removing just a faint layer of that clear coat. So you're making the clear coat more true and flat. You're getting, hence, better light reflection. And that's why you're increasing the gloss and you're perceiving that gloss. So paint correction is very important. And if done properly, well, and correctly, it is very easy and quick to do. Again, we had the Clean by Pan, the Organizer 15mm dual action polisher, 1100 watt motor. We used 2 pads today for this. So we had the wool cutting pad in the Clean by Pan Organizer lineup. All the pads, by the way, can be had in 6-inch, 5-inch, and 3-inch variants, depending on the size of your polisher. The Clean by Pan is a 5-inch backing plate, the polisher itself. So we have 5-inch pads. This one here is the blue foam polishing pad. And there's also a white jeweling foam pad for that further refining if you want to do a 3-step paint correction, or if you just want to jewel that finish to some insane gloss. So very simple setup, right? 2 pads. Actually, if you don't have many defects, you could just go ahead with a 1-step polish with the Clean by Pan and the Clean by Pan spray polish, or a 2-step like we did here, cutting followed by polishing. And where is the spray itself? Of course, must I not forget the star of the show, the Clean by Pan, the Organizer spray polish. So as you saw, just 2 sprays to prime the pad, and then from then on, 1 or 2 sprays to reprime when you're moving to another section. It cuts quickly, finishes down nicely. It will not stain your plastic trim. You can actually polish your plastic trim with this if it's oxidized and faded. You can polish your glass, you can polish the paint, you can polish a bunch of stuff with this. So it just super well. It works amazingly well, and as you guys saw, simple tools. And you get that defect done. My dad is smiling. Everybody's happy. He's done so much for me in my life. This is the least I can do to take care of their vehicle. So we're going to finish now paint correcting the entire vehicle. We're going to move on to ceramic coating later on. So you're going to see that in a separate video. Some pretty cool stuff. All this stuff I'll link in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. And if you want to learn more about paint correction, guys, I'll leave videos linked in the description and check those out, because I have stuff for beginners explaining everything involved in the paint correction process. It's pretty simple. As you guys saw, there's no dangers. You guys can have some fun doing this at home. So guys, in the meantime, don't forget, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one.